My husband is constantly buying and selling stocks and mutual funds without any advice or guidance. Watching him constantly move our money around is giving me heartburn, especially in the current economic and financial environment. Surely you run into do-it-yourselfers in your business. How do you convince them to let you help them?
Well, to be honest, we usually talk to you, the spouse that's not the one doing it.
Well, I've joked numerous times you're a quasi-marriage counselor in this
yes.
job. Yeah.
So listen, there's a lot of folks out there that like to do this stuff. It's fun to them. It's almost like a hobby, or they take pride in it. The question I would have is do they have a process? I've met very successful do-it-yourselfers, and I've met some that just had pure luck on their side. They picked a couple of things and they went well, but they didn't know when to sell. So do you have a process? If you're a do-it-yourselfer out there, look, do you have a process on how you choose what to buy? Is it rules-based? Do you have some kind of methodology? And more importantly, Chip, I have to ask them, do you have a process for when to sell? And rarely do I ever get that answer back. So this is common when we have spouses.
Because even if you got it right on the front end of the transaction, you could blow it on the back end of the transaction.
Absolutely. And then the other thing is you need to understand is what type of account are you doing all this buying and selling in? So if you're buying and selling mutual funds are extremely expensive to buy short term, very expensive, and you may not even understand all the fees and expenses you're paying because it's taken out of the return of the investment. And again, this is where some folks that don't have quite the education in these instruments and how they really work. So I can understand this point, but I would just tell you, there's nothing wrong with if somebody wants to have the fun money account, if you will, but to do this with your life savings is typically a mistake. We would not tell an attorney to represent himself. We would not recommend a surgeon operate on himself, right? You need to get counsel and advice. Even me, when I invest my own dollars, I go get other people's counsel and advice because there's no emotion involved for them with my money. Just like I don't have any emotion involved or tied to our clients' money. So it's a great point, but typically, if the spouse were to ask, listen, can you let a professional handle at least half of our assets? That may be a conversation you should have with your spouse. We're here if you want, but you should talk to somebody.